A driving distraction is anything in and around the car that takes your eyes.
It's something that will either manually, visually, or mentally distract you.
A driving distraction is anything that takes your focus away.
Well, it's could be a variety of things that take away from your focus on the driving task.
Driving distraction would be anything that diverts your attention.
A driving distraction
from the driving task
that takes your attention off the road.
Well, I'd like to say no, but I can tell you that when I first moved to Colorado, I did not know there was a Ferrari club, and I went to get my breakfast in Evergreen and saw like 15 Ferraris, and I honestly have never seen 15 Ferraris at the same time on a public road, maybe on a closed course, but not on a public road. And I was gawking at first, and then realized I'm not driving with them, and I certainly don't need to hit them, so I need to bring my focus back. I think that all of this, regardless of what it is, comes back to the fact, are you driving or are you not driving right now? Are you paying attention to what you should be, or has your mind wandered off with whatever that just passed by you? Yeah, I'm going to look up at unique vehicles. I'm not going to argue that, but fixating on them doesn't do anybody any good, so you immediately bring your focus back.
So while you're driving, there's all these other vehicles around you. Oftentimes, these can be distractions as well. Think here specifically of those really large vehicles, buses, semi-trucks, emergency vehicles, smaller vehicles, motorcycles, mopeds, and then you have specialty vehicles, sports cars, very unique classic cars. These are very interesting cars to see on the road at times, but again, if you pay too much attention to them, you're going to miss the other dangers and hazards around you. So notice them. Think about how they may be a hazard to you in that moment. If it's a sports car, they may be driving fast or cut you off. Big vehicles are going to limit your visibility, potentially not be able to handle the roads as cleanly as other vehicles. But don't be too distracted by them. Pay attention to everything else around you as well.
Oh, sure. The bigger vehicles, they catch your eye, they block your line of sight for sure at traffic lights, and just in general, they have the larger blind spots. And fancy cars, for people who are into cars, they want to look and say, wow, there's a McLaren, there's a Bugatti. Don't see those very often, and then your focus is not on the road anymore, so definitely a distraction. It's tough. You can't get the trucks off the road. For large vehicles, you want to drop back, give yourself a bigger following distance, make sure that they can see you in their blind spots. Don't travel in the no zones of large trucks. That's one thing you can do.
Oh, because they're so cool to look at. And basically, you just have to really learn to teach yourself to stay focused. It's okay to take a quick glance at it and start that scheming and dreaming about owning that Lambo or that Maserati, but you've got to get your eyes back on the road and focus. And you can always go home and look them up on the internet and then scheme and dream more about having those cool cars.
That's a hard one, especially when you love cars. I'm a car person, so I love when I see another car that I like, ooh, that's really cool. But if I'm like looking and staring at the car, I'm not looking around me, in front of me, and behind me for the dangers or hazards that are around me. So yeah, they can totally be distracting. Just quick glance and like, nope, I can't be staring at that car because this could all go wrong.
Oh my gosh, yes. I mean, even if I'm out there and I see like an Aston Martin Vanquish pull up, I want to look at it. The Bugatti that pulls up, the Lamborghinis that pull up. It is distracting. But once again, it comes down to, are you mentally mature enough to drive this car or not? Right? Can you focus on what needs to be focused on or not? You know, you see these huge lifted trucks, lifted Jeeps, these tiny lowrider cars. If you go to like downtown Golden on a Saturday night and they've got their car show going, of course it's fun to look at it. But that's why, if you enjoy that, get somewhere and park and then walk around. You can actually take the time to look at these cars. You can really appreciate them for what they're worth. But when you're out there and you're driving, as nice as they are, as exciting as it is to see some of them at times, that's not your job. That's not your focus. Your focus needs to be on that road in front of you.